It is Sipping with Sue time. I am Szu-Moy, and if you're joining us for the first time, we are live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So if you've not headed over to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe and hit the bell to get all of the latest content as soon as it is uploaded. We are chatting with real people doing real things extraordinarily, as we do every Friday. I haven't started drinking yet, you guys, so I can't talk at the moment. But I'm here this wonderful Friday, TGIF, with my good friend Marianne Morales from Corks, Pebbles More. She is creating art with heart. And so, Marianne, welcome. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers to the weekend. It's been a long one. I think this was like a kind of a long week for me. How about you?
Time's flying by for me. Keeping pretty busy. Yeah.
I know, and you've got this really cool thing that you're doing, which I'm like super excited to kind of delve in and talk to you about. So I'm super, super excited. So again, you guys, cheers to the weekend, and hopefully everybody has a nice, I've got a nice glass of Prosecco. I've got some bubbly because the weather is getting a little bit warmer, At least it's sunny here in Texas.
Yes.
It's getting a little bit better. So Marianne, can you give us a little bit about yourself so folks can get acquainted with you?
Yeah, so I grew up in the Netherlands. I met my husband, who was in the U.S. Navy, in Italy while I was on vacation. And we got married. I mean, it's how it happens, right? So we've been married 31 years. And yeah. And so I've lived here 30 years in the United States. We lived in Indiana first, and we had 2 children in Indiana. And then we moved to Texas, and it's been almost 20 years that we've now been in Texas. So, and we adopted a little boy when after we moved here to Texas. And our oldest is 27, which sounds really weird. It makes me very old. And her and I started this business together. Amber was born prematurely, and she has some special needs. And so she goes to day hab and she has different therapies, but she really loves art. And so that's how her and I kind of started doing some artwork together. So yeah, but I love it here in Texas. I really do.
So you gave up your Dutch residency and said, I'm heading to Texas to become a Texan.
I actually have dual citizenship.
Lucky. So lucky.
Yeah. I became a U.S. citizen in 2016. So I waited a long time, but I've got it.
Yeah. Well, cheers to that. That is amazing. But you talk about, it's weird to like talk of, say I have a 27-year-old, but I have a 27-year-old too.
I know. It's weird. When she hits 30, I think I don't know if I'm going to be okay with that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's going to be a little bit different. But I mean, like anything else, I'm going to be like, boom, we're going to go with a bang and just celebrate it. I mean, there's nothing else you can do but celebrate life. So
yeah,
all good, all good. So tell us a little bit about the story on how you came up with these absolutely fun and beautiful creations, and tell us just a little bit about how you got started with Corks, Pebbles, and More. I know it was part of something that you were doing with your daughter, but a little bit of background and whatnot on how you came up with this story, because I know you had a background story to coming up with.
Yeah, so we were at a friend's house, and he had this really interesting piece of art on his wall. It was all created out of little pebbles, and it represented his family, and it had him, his wife, the kids, and the 2 dogs that they had. And I just loved it. I just couldn't believe how unique it was. And I said, oh my gosh, I love it. Where did you get it? So he texted me the link to the place where he ordered it, because they were custom made, of course. And I went to that website, and it was $150. And I was like, oh, no. I'm Dutch. So I was like, I can do that myself for probably a lot less, which I did. And I have it. I took it off the wall because it does hang on our wall, because I really like the way our family. Oh, let me see how I can get this in the shot there. So we have 3 children, and then we have 2 cats and 2 dogs. And this is fluid foam. This is bigger than what we normally make. This is an 11 by 14, but I made this one for us. And that's how it all started, because people would come over and they say, oh gosh, I love that. Is that your family? Yes. Oh, it's so cute. Can you make me one? And, of course, I'm like, sure, I can make you one. So, I have to make in a few, and my husband's like, this is getting to be a little expensive. Could you maybe start charging some for these? So I said, you know what? I think that's a great idea. So we started in October of last year, and we've made a ton of stuff, and we've been having so much fun with it, because after we did some families, I found out I really love to make little birds. So I make little ones like this. And this one, we do funny things. It depends on the day. This one says there's always one. So there's always one in the family that's like a little bit, off.
Yeah,
So
hanging upside down.
My husband always likes to say, if you get this one and you don't know who it is, it's because it's you. So we make them in Spanish too. So that's probably, none of them are the same, because the pebbles are not the same. And we find the pebbles just anywhere. I don't buy them. I find them alongside the road. I find them, we live at the start of the hill country. So there's lots of rocks, and I have a patio in the back that has lots of little pebbles. So we use what we find. And that's what I like about it. We'll just get a big scoop of stuff and make things with it. And all the branches and everything that we use, on this one, for instance, we found this big stick. I had my husband pull over right here by the church, and I said, I need that. He goes, it doesn't fit in the car. I said, yeah, well, push down the chair. So we, and I cut it up and I make little things out of it. I just love it. And sometimes we make a few more that are a little more religious, because we do all kinds of different events. This one says, all our precious in his sight. And as I said, the birds just really, I love them. But we also make things like this, which we made these for Valentine's. All you need is love and a dog. And then I have one that says all you need is love and a cat, because, we find people, and we have dogs and cats, but most people, for some reason, they either like dogs or they like cats. So, and then my daughter made this one, a little heart made out of pebbles. She liked making that. And that's probably the last of the pebble art I'm going to show you. We made this one, and it has a seashell, and it says the best day of our lives. I just sold this one, actually. I have to write the date on it, because we like to personalize them if people want to. We can make pretty much anything.
And I love how it's sustainable. You're bringing things you're not buying things, you're using the stuff that's in nature. And I know that was one of your big things too, is that I'm using the things that are out in nature. And so also with like the name Corks and Pebbles and More, what are the other materials that you're using to create these pieces? It's corks, it's pebbles, is there branches?
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about how you're getting some of this stuff out in nature.
We do. Right. We do a lot of stuff with corks too. And it's funny, I made a lot of cork Christmas trees. And I had done that in the past already before we started this business. But people always say, wow, did you drink all those? I really didn't. I get a lot of corks from friends. So we make boards like this, just that you can hang and you can put your notes on there. We make garlands out of corks. And people will just bring me bags of corks. So
that's good, because most of my corks, I'm like, no, yes, I drank all of those.
Well, as much as we made, though, that would have not been good if we had drank all that. But some of them, I'm sure, are mine. And then we've started using reclaimed wood. and we put pine cone flowers on those.
Oh, that's
And
really
this
pretty.
wood it's you can see it's a little eaten by the termites. It's reclaimed wood that I get from my favorite store. I don't know if you heard of it. It's on Fredericksburg Road. It's called Better Than New.
Okay.
And all he has is old windows, old doors. You know how the trend is now to use an old door, these really, really heavy antique doors, and make tables out of them.
Yes.
I mean, it's just beautiful. It's my favorite store. So we got the wood. My husband helps cut it, and puts the hangers on, and then Amber and I make stuff out of it. So we made this too. This is 10 by 8.
Oh, wow. And it's all the honeycomb flowers, or is that dried flowers?
No, those are pine cones.
Those are pine cones. Okay. And then you painted
Yeah.
them.
Yep. So we paint them. Sometimes we leave them natural, but most of the time we paint them. But we cut them in pieces so they're flat.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
So
where the more comes in.
with those pieces specifically, because I know you showed the other creations that were on paper. So with the reclaimed wood and those pieces that you're doing, are they also in a framed box as well?
No. So the reclaimed wood is just on the wood.
Okay.
They're not framed. The
Okay.
other ones are on canvas panels, and they're framed in shadow boxes.
Awesome. Awesome. So
Yeah.
how long does it take for you to create a piece?
Um, the birds I'm pretty good, and it takes only a few pebbles. So it depends. If I just sit down, I can do probably 5, 6 pieces in an hour.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And then
I
even
mean, I get pretty inspired, and I put it together, and then it has to dry for 24 hours. And then Amber and I decide what goes with we put on there, because every saying is a little different. We try to be funny at times, and be more serious at others.
yeah, yeah. Well, depending on what people want to. So well, I guess that brings me to my next question. So it's just our imaginations that are the limit for creating a unique piece with you.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Awesome.
So, and I like that. I mean, we reuse as much as we can.
Mhm.
Um, because in this little piece here, this part is actually cut up. What do you call that? It's what you use for swimming tube. The foam.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The foam,
Yeah,
the foam. What are they called? Oh my
yeah.
goodness. Those little
You
foam.
know what I'm talking about? The foam long
Yes.
snake-looking things. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So we try not to buy anything. So I go into the garage. I go in the yard. You know, the frames, of course, we buy. I don't make the frames. We buy the frames in bulk, but everything else pretty much comes from what we can find.
That is fabulous. And then you have folks that, I mean, you said you had folks that are giving you corks and different things. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
you
and
have like
rocks,
and what?
rocks too,
Oh, and
little
pebbles.
pebbles and rocks, and yeah.
So we could do a drop off to you then if we have additional items that you
Yes,
want to
yes.
use. Oh, that's so cool. That's awesome. Well, I love all of this. And of course, I love the pieces. I
Thank
mean, you
you.
sent me a bunch of photos and I was like, oh, these are so neat. And I do also love the birds. I think those are just the cutest things ever. But Valentine's Day is coming up this Tuesday rather.
Hmm.
So what better way to share something unique with a loved one, I think, than this? So how can folks get in touch with you to purchase or make an order with you?
All right, so we're doing pop-ups, and the next one will be in Bandera, not tomorrow, but next week, Saturday. That's for people who are local. And then we're doing one at Zion Lutheran Church on 1604 Bandera on March the 3rd. But I'm also permanently at Homestead Handcrafts. And it's a really neat store. I really love it. They have all these vendors in there. It's inside. So, whether it's windy or rainy, you can go in there, or hot. And, we're in South Texas. You can just go down all the aisles, and every vendor has different things. And I'm in there 7 days a week open. And right now, all my stuff is Valentine geared. So we did bunnies. We did, no bunny loves you like I do, and all kinds of stuff with bunnies. So if they're not local, they could email me. Also on Facebook and Instagram, and we can ship anywhere in the world. Um, People tell me they're pretty affordable. The 5x7s, if it's a one that I've already made, they're 15. If it's a custom, they're 20, but they're come fully framed. And then the 8x8s are, if I've already created it, it's 25. And if I have to do a custom order, it's 30. Just because I have to put a lot more time in it to find specifically what, people are looking for. And then we do a really fun one, but I sold the last one I had yesterday. It's a little bunny holding a balloon, and the balloon is also a rock. And it says, happy birthday to some bunny special. And that's
Aw.
one of our, most desired pieces. So we keep making those. But
Oh,
every bunny looks different because every rock is different. But I mean, people, it's just a cute little thing to give. And at $15, I mean,
yeah.
it's cute. So
Yeah, it's unique.
yeah, and I mean, we can do, if people love the birds, we can do the birds, or if people love the bunnies, or we could do a family portrait. I started doing the family tree, which it's not actually looking like a tree. It's like different branches. So the highest branch would have mom and dad, and then the branch underneath, just like a family tree would have, the first child with whatever partner and children, if they have children, and and down. So those are in an 8x10 because it takes quite a bit of space.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but those are really, really cute too.
Yeah, those probably take a lot more time too, especially if you're, well, I guess you just need who's there and what, and then the names and stuff, and then you kind of go
Yeah,
from
and I have not done any with names,
there. Okay.
because people usually when they get it, it's for themselves.
Okay.
Um, but I do, yeah, it's a little tricky on the sizes and stuff because if they have little children, then the rocks need to be pretty small, and then especially if there's dogs and cats, I kind of have to make sure that it proportionally it kind of works out.
Yeah.
But we love doing it, and Amber, she loves helping me, so
Mhm. Mhm.
it's a fun thing. Who
Yeah. Well,
knew?
especially, you've got something now that both of you guys can do. It feeds her heart,
Yeah.
making these things, and also you to create. I mean, I think when you're creating it, it feeds the soul for sure.
Well, and this to see the reaction, I like doing the pop-ups because
Mhm.
the people, you see how they relate to the piece. They'll say, "Oh, I just have to have this one," and
Yeah.
that makes it all worth it.
Mhm.
You know, I wouldn't want to be in a store and have. I mean, I like that it speaks to people. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and
So
it's one of a
yeah,
kind. Each
yeah,
one is
and they
different.
are one of a
That
kind.
every single one is different because every rock and every pebble is super different. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I
thank you
like
very
doing it.
much.
So it's been a few months. We've done it. Well, it's only been October, November, December, January, 4.5 months almost. Yeah. So we've been doing good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. And I love the story behind it. I love that, you were able to take something that you saw and said, I can make this. I can do this on my own. I could use the things that I already have in nature to make it sustainable. So it's creating art through nature, and
Hmm.
I don't have to pay for a whole lot of it. And then I'm doing it with my daughter who, special needs, is making, now she's doing her own thing and making, art together. And I just
Yeah.
love it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love
And
it.
I'll tell her, we sold something at the store, and she's all excited. And she
Yeah,
loves doing the pop-ups. She goes out with me all day long, and she helps me wrap it up when we sell something. And it's good.
yeah.
It's very
I
nice.
love it. Yeah, that's amazing. Such a great story. It's such a unique thing that you're doing. So I thank you so much for coming on and talking with me. And we'll definitely add like all of your information
Thank you.
to the feed to make sure that people know like when your next pop-up is, how they can get a hold of you. Not everybody's local to San Antonio. I get that, but she does ship worldwide, obviously.
Mhm.
So if you want something unique for Valentine's Day or any other day, then they can get a hold of you that way. So I appreciate you coming on. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that covers it. I'd like to thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, no, this has been so fun. And again, I just love hearing about such, unique things and different things that people are doing. And of course, being able to tell that story. So thank you so much. So
Thank
before I let
you.
you go though, like I like to do with all of my guests, I like to do it just for fun speed round. So are you ready to go?
Sure.
Okay, so have you ever found a pebble you didn't like?
Sure.
You have.
Mhm.
And you're like, I'm not, this is not coming in with me. No.
Yeah, yeah. Too big or wrong size or weird shape. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Rocks are fun. So is there a super unique rock that looked like something or even someone that you've ever found?
Actually, I did, and it looked like Mary. So we used it I know, we used it in a nativity scene, and we sold it. And I told the lady, I said, "You will never ever find another one like this."
Mhm.
And I wasn't the only one that saw that. It was just the shape of it. It was pretty special. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. All right. So, a lot of folks, especially, I mean, I do as well when I'm creating or when I'm working or whatever, I like to listen to music. So, what music do you listen to when you create your pieces, if any?
You know, I do not listen to music.
Ah, okay. Okay.
No, I I'm in the office with my husband and he works from home. So,
Mhm.
and I don't wear earbuds and he's on the phone, he's doing his thing and I just tune it all out and I just don't want to have extra music to it. So that's kind of weird probably, but
Oh, no. So no, you're probably you're right into it. I love music. So I'm always like, okay, I'm going to listen to this when I'm doing this, and I'm going to listen to that when I'm doing that. Like what I'm listening to when I'm working out is definitely different from when I'm cleaning, definitely different from when I'm working. So, but some people like just having that thought process and just going that way also. So,
yeah, I listen to music in the car, but that's it.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So for your corks, do you prefer red, white, rosé, or bubbles?
Um, well, so for wine, I'm a red wine drinker. And but I love the corks that come with champagne bottles.
Ah, because they're like funky.
Yes, yes, I like those.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you so much again. And then we'll make sure to get all of your information on the feed after we finish.
All
So
right,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Yay. Well, cheers. Cheers, everybody. Cheers to the weekend. Have a great weekend.
Cheers.
And we will see
Thank
you
you.
all. Yes, we will see you all next week. So take care.
Bye.